Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I think I know what this is. I think this is going to be real fun for everybody. Thanks so much to Kansept for sending these in. I think they're available, or they're about to be available. Either way, I'll link them down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure the notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. What's this called? It's called the Hazard. S35EN Stonewashed Titanium. This is designed by Stephen Dunnock. Let's see if I'm right about what I think this is. I'm going to move the rest. I'll open them all up, but I'm going to get these out here real quick. Here's some things you can scan if you want to. If this is what I think it is, I'm real curious about... Is it? I think it is. So, hopefully I don't have to do too much editing. Hopefully I figure this out right away. Okay, here comes the latch. And here comes the blade. Okay. And now it's in... so far, very cool. Very, very cool. Does this just pick back up and come back down? Okay, so it's not nearly as tricky as I thought it would be. So this is definitely the knife that I've seen people sort of like flip. Oh, God. I am not the person to do this stuff. Sorry for the yellow reflection. I'm wearing a yellow shirt here today, but I am not the person to do the BALISOng drinks. I don't know how to do it. I'm far more likely to cut myself, but this is cool in the sense that it is a different locking system. This is, people have voiced their concerns. Well, I say voice their concerns. It makes it sound like I'm in HR. People have complained correctly. People have said in a totally justifiable way, hey, we're kind of sick of crossbar locks, button locks, frame locks, liner locks. And to an extent, I absolutely agree with people. I don't think that those locking systems should go away, and I think that you can develop and design a cool enough knife to the point where if the locking system is one of those locking systems, then some other element of the knife can make it justifiable for certain groups of people. I think that's fine. But we definitely have too many of them. So when there are new systems here, whether or not it is actually a step forward and it's better, like universally or objectively, than those locking systems, I think that it's not necessarily always going to be the case. But the fact that we have different options, making these things more interesting to certain groups of people, those groups of people being the ones that are bored with the locking systems, I think this is great. This is super cool. Now, how does this actually lock the knife out? Let's, I'm going to study this a little bit on camera, but let's get the other ones out so that we can see what other options we have. So far, I love it. And it's going to make me want to play with it and fidget with it, Oh, no, these are different knives. Oh, I thought there were going to be 4 variations of the same knife. Okay, so hold on. We'll come back to this one. I want to see how it locks out. The Model 6. So speaking of crossbar locks. Okay, Model 6. We got some copper, carbon fiber here. Got a little lever, a little toilet flusher lever. That's fine. Slightly in the cutting path. This is a crossbar lock. It's okay, right? You probably, what this allows you to do, and the reason that this will be interesting to certain groups of people, is it allows you to get materials like copper, carbon fiber, and S35EN. But because it's a crossbar lock with steel liners, it's probably not going to be very expensive relative to other knives that utilize similar materials. So that's fine, and there's definitely a place for it, right? The next one here, oh, it's another Hazard. Okay, so do we have any other new models? Okay, so let's open the other Model 6 here, and then we'll go back and we'll open that other Hazard. So the second Model 6 is a blue one, okay? It's fine. It's fine. It'll be linked down there. You guys can pick it up if you want to. Nothing wrong with it. It'll work just fine. Nothing different as far as I can tell. Same pocket clips, just black hardware. Okay. So this other Hazard, what's the blade still on this, by the way? Did we already look? It's S35EN. This other one here is probably going to be black or black wash or something similar. So, lots of stuff. Oh, cool. That is so cool. Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's the one I'm keeping. That is awesome. I also like that we went with a nice, safe, almost kind of Ferrum 4G profile here with the big forward choil. That is cool. So, you know, it's really, I think it's easier for me initially to disengage than it is to deploy, because I'm trying to figure out like how I would do this in a way where it deploys exactly the way I want to every time. So from the open position, I think closing it is a little easier. That's pretty simple. Opening it, you have to make sure that you open it and then kick that thing back at the exact moment that the blade is in the open position. I'm getting better at it. So I'm like keeping it here. Yeah, kind of. I'm worried about bounce back and gravity causing the thing to come back down on my finger, but this is clearly geared towards, you know, like people who can maybe want to learn or can already do like balisong tricks, and I think that those people will probably figure this out a lot faster and be able to manipulate it in a way that's like second nature to them. But the average person, you're going to have to kind of be a little bit careful on your approach with this system. So how does this actually lock the blade out? So this piece is attached to this, and it's on a hinge. So this moves, and by the way, the blade, no detent holding this in. It requires this to be snapped in place. So you have a little bit of, you know, there's a little lump of material. There's the detent back there that snaps this down into place. This part that is screwed to this piece does not move or wiggle on the hinge, but this moves. So this tab, darn it, hit the camera. This slips into place back here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. So here's your engagement right there. Can we see? So we can get it to focus. Come on now. Why don't you want to focus? There it is right there. It's kind of slipping into, is it because this knife is back here? I think we can kind of see. There we go. You can see where it's engaging, right? So as this moves back, this piece right here, once it's got its place, then it snaps down into this position. Okay, so how strong is that locking system? Well, that's a good question. How reliable is that? Let me get some gloves on. So I'm curious. If I were to smack this, I'm going to hold on to this lock here. That's me holding on to it, right? If you are using this knife, you're probably going to have pressure here. You could say, you know, if I'm squeezing here, then there's nothing holding the lock in. What if I don't hold that lock? Yeah, then it wants to kick back out. I'm not convinced that that is a design flaw, though, but it is something that you should be aware of. This system, while you're using it naturally, does require that you hold this down. And I don't know that a system like this is advertised as one that is supposed to be like, you know, apocalypse durable. I think this is geared more towards fidget factor, right? Light pressure on this locking system, just simply holding it, then yeah, no, it's not going to disengage. But if this is a big deal to you and everybody's going to think, you know, differently about it, that's about what it takes to get it to disengage while I'm not holding on to the lock. So I don't know. I think people are going to have different feelings about that. Personally, I kind of get what he was going for here. You know, not like mega ultra, like all-purpose durable, but while you're using it, the locking system should be plenty. Like if you're going to grip this, for example, and you're going to do a lot of cutting like this, you're going to be, you know, holding onto the knife in the hammer grip, and you're going to be processing whatever material, right? Let's say you get the knife wedged into something, because spine impact, whatever it is that you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it with any knife, right? I always make the argument that locking systems, you know, need to be able to hold up to spine pressure in, the circumstances where the blade gets wedged in between something and you have to kind of wiggle it back out. In that situation, you're probably going to be holding onto it like this. You're probably not going to be, pinching it like this. At least I wouldn't be, right? So you're probably going to have that pressure there holding this in place. Perhaps this system needs a secondary, I hate to imply that yet another new system might benefit from a secondary safety lock, but look at, for example, the Riot Exo. There's a great example of a knife there that was cool and had a lot of potential, and the biggest problem is that the lock allowed the knife to flop open. The secondary safety turned that from a knife that I would never ever EDC to a knife that actually EDC'd a lot. Now, this isn't nearly the same thing. This is a locking system that under specific circumstances can potentially disengage if, force that's bordering on abuse is applied to the back of the blade or the spine of the blade, right? So a secondary sliding safety or something like that makes sure that locking system cannot disengage under normal circumstances. Obviously, it wouldn't take an enormous amount of force, but it would be well into the realm of abuse, right? Perhaps that system, this system would benefit from something like this because there are going to be people who are like, I don't know. But just so you know, that's about where we're at on this. Despite that, though, I do think this is cool and it's fun, and I've never seen anything like it, right? So I don't expect every single locking system, especially every new locking system, to have the durability that rivals the Super Lock or the Shark Lock or the Triad Lock. It's just not the case, right? It just depends on what you're going to do with your knife. Casually using this knife for EDC, I think that the locking system will hold up as long as you use it like a knife and not like anything else. It's fun. It definitely has that fidget factor. But as is the case with any new locking system, I think that there's room for improvement in order to appeal to a wider range of people. So anyways, this is not a review. Let me carry it and use it for a bit, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts in the form of a full-length review. In any case, all of this stuff will be linked down in the description so that you guys can check it out. That's going to be it for today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram. Where's that card? It's completely buried. There it is. Follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.